What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another Street Fighter Duel video, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a wonderful week, and TGIF, it's Friday, right? So happy Friday to all of you out there, and welcome to the last video of the week. Yeah, that's right, you guys. Normally I would upload on a Saturday. However, I have a wedding tomorrow, so I am not actually going to be available to make a video tomorrow. So you guys are going to have to make do with this one today, and I will have to bid you all adieu until next week. Unless I decide to get froggy and make a video randomly on a Sunday like I did last week, but we'll see. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about the new content that dropped in Street Fighter Duel yesterday. Now, of course, I did make a video yesterday, but I did not cover any of this because I had already planned on dropping that video yesterday that I did. And of course, we had no heads up really that this stuff was going to be happening, so there is that. But we can always do it today, right? So in today's video, we are going to be giving you all the information that you need to know about these new events in Street Fighter Duel, including how you, as a free-to-play, can get a free copy of Juri or Rose in Street Fighter Duel. I know you're interested. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so that you smash that like button and subscribe. And let's just go ahead and get into today's topic. So the first new event that we need to take a look at here is going to be the Days of Arrival. So basically this is going to be to usher in and count down to the Monster Hunter collaboration, which is of course going to be our first collaboration for Street Fighter Duel. Now this is a very easy and simple event, so not much to talk about. You'll have a mileage bar down here at the bottom. You're going to be able to pick up, it looks like, a total of 6 of these arcade coins, which is very, very nice, with the final reward being the Gormagala chat bubble, which, yeah, pretty cool. But with this, all you've got to do is hit this little share button right here. I'm not going to go past this screen because, well, I don't want all of my contacts to pop up here. I've already tested it. Yes, that happens. So basically, for those of you who aren't aware with any of these share events, all you got to do is hit the little arrow down here. You don't even have to actually share this. You can just hit that and then go back to this screen and you'll get your reward and your mileage. No muss, no fuss. And then that way, none of your friends or family members need to know that you are a dirty gacha player, right? So there's that. Pretty simple event, not much to talk about there. So we can go ahead and move on to the bread and the butter of this update, which is of course going to be the Destiny Tarot and the Exchange Tent. So let's talk about this because this event is one of the coolest things that they have dropped in the early lifespan of this game and should be a great sign for free-to-plays everywhere. So basically the Destiny Tarot, as you guys can see, you're going to have a little mileage bar down here below this card, and it's going to end with a tarot essence. Now you get 50 of these tarot essences for 10 pulls on this bar. Now, this is 10 pulls. So basically what this means is you can go ahead and use these cards, which I'm not going to go ahead and talk about too much yet, we'll get there, but these cards that you'll accumulate from doing certain things in the game, you'll go ahead and you'll exchange either 30 of them for a single draw, or you can do 300 of them for a multi. And as you guys can see, I do have 400 right now. I will go ahead and do a multi before the end of the video, and I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. But for those of you wondering, yes, doing a single summon does count towards the mileage here. It's just you'll have to do 10 singles to get to your 50 essences. So these essences are going to be very important when we get to the exchange tent. This is the currency that you will use in order to exchange there, and we'll talk about that momentarily. But when it comes to what you can get in these multis, I really want to focus on this real quick because this is fantastic. So as you guys can see, you have the option at a lot of different items here. There's not going to be any characters. The characters are actually going to be over in the exchange tent, unless you count some of these little invitations, but I don't. But if we take a look here, you're going to be seeing gems, faction coins. You're going to see tons and tons of currencies to build up your characters and do certain things in the game. Tons of stuff, really good stuff. So this is a very valuable little multi. And you get this currency again for free if you so choose. And we'll talk about why you can buy this stuff and where you can buy this stuff in a moment. But that is going to be kind of just the basic overall gist of this. And as you guys can see, we do have this item drop available for another 10 days and 18 hours. This started yesterday, so we had 11 days total. So that means that we are going to have some math that we're going to have to do momentarily here, because we need to talk about how you're going to pick up the currency in the first place. So there's two main ways to pick this up. The free-to-play way is going to be to do daily missions. If you notice over here in your chests for doing your daily missions, you're going to have 25 from the first chest, 25 from the second chest, 50 from the third chest, and then you're going to have 75 here, so we're up to 175, and finally another 100 for the final chest. That's 275 free-to-play currency for this new event each and every single day. So what does that mean? Well, this is where the math comes in, and lucky for you guys, I've already done it, so you don't have to worry about it. So basically what this means is if we count yesterday when this event started, then that means that you are talking 275 times 11 days, which is 3,025 of this currency. And if we go ahead and do the math further on that, then that means that we're going to be able to get basically 10 multis for free on this. So that is kind of what you're looking at by the end of this event. So of course, with all that said, you also, if you would like to, if you're a whale or somebody who wants to spend money on the game, you can go over to your gift packs and you can go in and you can actually buy this currency. So there are some different packs here that you can take a look at. Now, something to keep in mind, because I did buy one of these packs yesterday. Basically, what this means is you are going to be able to pick up these packs for pretty cheap, either $1 or $5 for the base ones. But then if you pick up the $5 one, there's actually going to be an unlock for a $14.99 one, and etc. I don't know if it goes past that because I didn't spend that much on this. I just wanted to spend $5 to kind of see what I could get out of a multi and kind of test some things, and I will talk about that here in a moment. But this is where you can go ahead and pick these up. If you are a premium player, say a minnow, a dolphin, a whale, what have you, you can pick all this stuff up. Some of these are pretty valuable. I would definitely recommend some of the ones that are going to have things like your breakstones, because breakstones do get pretty scarce, especially if you're further into the game. So if you are somebody that is pretty deep into the story mode or have your characters built up and you're pushing that level 200 at this point, then you're going to need these breakstones. So that is something that's also very nice about this event, and I'll talk more about when we get to the actual tent portion. But this is where you can pick up more of these, and pretty much world's your oyster. But if you are free to play, do keep in mind that you can get one of the characters for free. So how do you get that character for free? Well, here you go. The exchange tent is where you're going to go in and you're going to exchange these tarot essences that we just talked about. And again, keep in mind each multi, each full 10 pulls on that row are going to give you these tarot essences. It's going to give you 50 of them. And as you guys can see, you will have your Juri there and your Rose for 450 respectively at a max limit of 4 purchases. But then there's other things in here I want to talk about. So if you guys notice here, I picked these up already. You can get tons and tons and tons, and I'm just talking tons of this stuff. So if you are somebody that is going to be kind of capped in the game right now on currencies for building your characters, maybe you're trying to push your progress and you just need to be able to break that character up to the next set of levels. Maybe you already did and you just need more of these guys right here. Either way, you guys, you can pick a ton of this stuff up for really, really cheap. So it's your prerogative on what you want to spend on in this game when it comes to this event, just like anything else. But if you're somebody that doesn't necessarily care to get these characters, or you already maybe have these characters, maybe you decide to pick up some of these currencies because they're very, very cheap. And that is something that I actually chose to do because honestly, I'm kind of in a waiting position right now. You guys, I already told you, I'm waiting on Akuma and Oni. So these characters aren't necessarily going to be the top of mind for me right now. It would be nice to have more copies of Juri because I do have 1 copy. I don't have Rose yet, but at the same time, I'm willing to wait and be patient because I'm sure we're going to get them eventually. But you also have other characters in here you could pick up, mainly Blanca and Dulcim I would definitely recommend here. But overall, of course, Abel is a good character too, not just necessarily going to be, in my opinion, up to the par of the other characters in here, especially these two here. So overall, guys, those are the rewards. If you wanted to get the currencies, I would definitely say you you wouldn't be wrong in doing so, because right now you can get a ton of it and get a lot of really good value for it. So I think that that is something to consider with this event. But like I said, if you're somebody that just wants to pick up a character as a free to play, you will be able to do that. So let's go ahead and show you guys kind of what we're looking at here. I'm going to give you just kind of a visual example of a multi, and we'll kind of just take a look at what we get our items. Maybe we'll get lucky. So, okay, we got a ton of breakstones. That's fine with me because that's what I need. Very happy with that. And there's our 50 for our currency that we can now go ahead and take into the tent and pick up these different items. So that is pretty much what you're getting there, you guys. Like I said, full multi will get you a total of 50 by the end, and then you can go in here and you can go ahead and exchange it. So this thing is a really great value and bodes very well for the future of the game, in my opinion, especially for free-to-plays out there that were worried that these characters were just going to be absolutely impossible to get. As you guys have seen multiple times now, there are plenty of different ways that they are choosing to try and give us these characters. So if you're playing the game, you're paying attention, and you're using your currency correctly, you too can have some of these more premium characters by the end of some of these events. So that is pretty much going to do it for those two events. The last thing I want to go ahead and touch on here is going to be the draft. So the draft is interesting. Overall, the draft is a PvP mode, and kind of what will happen, and I'll show you guys a little bit of footage here on the screen. Basically, with the draft, what you're doing is you're getting random chances at characters to start, where you're basically going to be able to pick characters randomly from what the game's RNG gives you to choose from, and then you'll go ahead and you'll have your set of characters, and then you'll go in and you'll play against another player who went through the same process. You'll kind of have this little round robin between the two of you, where you'll pick and choose a set of characters before you finally fix your team and then jump into the fight, and then you have basically just kind of a PvP battle with a random person, right? You'll accumulate points towards your rank, and then your rank will determine your rewards, right? So if we take a look in here, there are going to be some really nice rewards. If we take a look, as you guys can see, those are going to be your rewards there. Tons and tons of gems. So there's a lot of gems in here, and you don't necessarily have to be like in the top 10 to be able to partake in a decent chunk of these. This tends to be, looks like, just from what we can see so far, one of the more rewarding PvP areas in the game at this point. So that's really cool. So overall, I do think that this is a cool little mode, especially considering the fact you also can pick up more of your tokens or your coins from just doing some of your dailies playing this. The only issue I have with this is it's very grindy. It does require you to pretty much, I don't want to say no life it, but if you take a look at some of the people that are going to be, especially if we go to the server wide side in the top, it is a little insane how much time these people have spent on this. Now, of course, you can go ahead and just set it to auto and do it that way, but you still have to kind of monitor it. So overall, this does require a lot of time investment in order to be able to pull or get the items that you want for your rewards for your ranking. But I would say that as a PvP mode, it is a fun one. It's just one of those things that while I'm not necessarily the biggest PvP guy in the world, I'm not in any game a huge PvP guy, it is one that I will come back to and play, but I'm not going to no life it and try to get myself into like the top 5. Like, I'm just not going to do that. It's definitely going to require a lot of time investment in order to do that. So a few tips here, just so you guys are aware, and I know a lot of this just kind of comes down to your RNG luck on what characters the game gave you. I ended up getting a lot of really bad options. I did get a few good ones in there, but unfortunately it wasn't necessarily the greatest of options. So I just picked what I could that would work. But basically in this, you want to have a good fast team, and you want to be able to either group or push the opponent. Really, ideally both. You want to kind of just push them up against that wall, group them together, and be able to just kind of bully them that way with a good fast team so you get to go first. There's characters out there that are going to be phenomenal at that. And I'm sure if you guys have watched like our tier list videos or seen more content across YouTube, you would know this. But of course, Bison's the king of this thing right now. He's the king of this game right now. But other characters that are super good here are going to be like your Makotos of the world. Blanca's very, very good. Another character that's actually sneaky good here is Abel, because his shields are actually really good here. And despite the fact that heals are a little bit sus in this mode, we'll put it that way, Rose can also be a very good character here. Gen's fantastic here. There's a ton of really good options. But overall, this is a fun little mode. You can get your glory prizes, you can get your rewards for doing your missions, and overall, despite the fact that it's very, very grindy, and it's going to mostly just reward the people that have the time to sit down and play this game for just hours and hours and hours a day, I still think it's a great mode, and I think that it's more balanced than some of the other areas of PvP in the game, and I think it's going to bring a lot of people into the PvP side of the game more so than just doing daily missions or trying to do things like that. So I am very happy with the mode. It's just unfortunate that it is so grindy, because it is super grindy, but at the same time, if you are willing to spend that much time on this game, then I do feel like you should be rewarded over people that, you know, even if they can't, you know, aren't. So that's that. So overall, you guys, that's pretty much going to be what you get with Draft, and that's pretty much what we're going to get with this update. This was a really nice little update, kind of a tide them over update until we get to the Monster Hunter collaboration, which is drawing very, very near. We only have 6 days until we can play with this content, and this is exciting stuff because this is the first collaboration with this game. Like I mentioned, is it the Devil May Cry collaboration that I've been waiting on? Because Devil May Cry is one of my favorite IPs. Not quite, but we'll get there. But anyway, you guys, that's just my opinion on all this stuff. I hope that some of these tips and some of this information helped you, but if it did, the best way to thank me is to like, share, and subscribe. And I just want to take a moment to thank each and every single one of you for the past week and a half of content performance here on the channel. You guys have been killing it, and I really, really appreciate it. As a small channel, I've been doing this a couple years now. It's really, really nice to see so many new people in the chat, see so many new people in the Discord, which, by the way, links in the description if you want to hang out with us in the Discord. I'm pretty active there, so we can all chat and hang out. But either way, you guys, great stuff. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Like I said, I got a wedding tomorrow, so I may or may not see you till Monday. And if I don't, you all be safe, you all be smart, and you all take care. Peace.